Okay, I'm going to just get a view from this angle because it's looking up. It would be nice if we were a little bit lower and have him above, sort of silhouetted against the sky, but so this is almost exactly the same place where they made the kill yesterday. Heads north on Biffles. Male and female are there, I think. I saw some movement next to him. The honeymoon couple. Actually see them mating. I won't come any closer, Mr. Lion. How what? Hello, Vivian. Vivian wants to know, how can you tell whether, when you're looking at them, these are potentially dangerous animals, how can you tell when you're looking at them? Vivian, I'm not sure if you have your own cat at home. And there's sort of a universal body language with cats that even extends to these, the largest of all, the African cats. Tail movement and ear movement and frowning, but the ears and the tail are telltale signs when it comes to cats, and it doesn't matter whether it's your tabby at home or it's a big male lion lying next to his mate in the middle of the mating process. I wouldn't exactly say lion would be bluffing. It's not a case of bluffing. His ears are up. When he was growling at me, his ears were up. So it's not as though he was bluffing. He was giving a warning saying, don't come any closer. That is as far as you can come for now. As far as I'll let you come, he was saying. If we were to go any closer, you would notice his ears getting flatter and flatter, facing further and further back. The tail, as you can see now, the tail is just twitching. That's just normal twitching for a cat. But when that tail starts swinging side to side, the slight pause for each time, and different intensities of the way the tail swings, you can actually gauge the cat's aggression from that. But it's generally a combination of both ears and tail. Now if we look at her ears, facing forward like that, interest, she's interested in this fly that's bugging her nose. Ears are facing forward. It's all positive emotion when ears face forward, and as soon as those ears start turning backwards, it becomes negative emotion and aggression. She's not liking that fly. She's enjoying the fly around her face about as much as I do, but I've got an opposable thumb and I can pick a guarri branch. Once again, I'd like to welcome you to the wilds of Africa and wild earth. Coming to you from the Sabi Sand in South Africa. This is Gijima Game Reserve. My name is Mark. Lion that are mating will spend several days going through the process. But they will mate many times over that period. I'm sure that it up and engage in a very interesting natural process. What's mostly interesting about it is that there are 2 cubs with the pride already, and this potentially can expand the pride some more. And it has been some time since we've had the likes of males, females and cubs together. I don't know where the rest of the group is at the moment. They are a little bit north. The rest of them, I believe, are on Buffelshoek, off to our left, north of us. We are facing east. She's beautiful. Let's see if we can find some features about her that we can recognize in the future. Like a leopard, lion's gestation is around 100 days, 3 months, 3.5 months. So perhaps towards the end of April there'll be young uns born. And we're all hoping that they're going to be spending a little bit more time on our side of this road rather than the northern side. Patty, this is one of the Gijima males and this is one of the Nkuhuma females. And if you missed that in the last couple of days that we've been viewing them. I was thinking last night, we've now got them hanging around together, and it's quite long-winded to say the Nkuhumas and the Gijimas. Gijimas and Nkuhumas, we should just call them Gijimas. Kind of fitting because this is Gijima Game Reserve. And what are you going to do now? That, everyone, is one of the most incredible sounds here in Africa. This vehicle was vibrating. In fact, there were one or two loose things. I could hear them rattling. I cannot tell you how that sound goes through your body and electrifies you. He started calling, she continued, or rather she joined in, and I'm not too sure if it was 50 to 100 yards north of us. The other male and the other female started roaring as well. Don't ever let it be said that lions do not roar during the day, because there are always going to be circumstances where it's an exception rather than the rule. Quite normally, the female initiates the mating. It's quite strange that he got up and initiated it this time. Oh, they are beautiful. And there's a moment during copulation that he will bite her on the back of the neck. And part of that is to subdue her, in much the same way as a cat carries her kittens and they automatically go into a submissive posture. But oh, I hope she's not going to go and join the rest of the pride. No, she's just changing position. He won't let her out of his sight during this process. But at the end of copulation, when he has to withdraw, that induces pain in the female, and that in itself promotes ovulation. And it's during that moment that he's withdrawing that some pain is experienced by the female because of a barb on his penis. And it is at that moment that he has to subdue her to stop her from turning around and snapping at him and biting him in the face. They've been at it now for some time, so by now it's not as bad as the first few times, or even when it is a young lioness. The lioness can get very aggressive at the end. That was absolutely incredible. Beautiful light on these lions, late afternoon sunshine, and the most incredible moment of all, having them roar with us. We see lions so often, we see them. People can get bored with lions because they're very inactive for most of their lives. And this is a unique opportunity to not only watch them but also hear them in action. On the word action. Go ahead, Bernie. I can just see you behind this wattle. Confirm you've got a wheel stuck? Have you locked your front wheels?
I just don't want this for the cycling city. So if they're coming, I can't see from where I am.
Yeah, sure, will do. You need a Land Rover.
I think you've got one, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got one. I'll say you need one. Even Susan wanting to know how many cubs lions have. 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 6 they can have. They only have 4 mammary glands, 4 nipples, 2 pairs of mammaries. So suckling 6 cubs can pose a problem. But and of course there's a higher mortality rate. She's lying on her back. Evidently that also helps, well, not only ovulation, but it helps fertilization. Hello, Susan. Susan, I haven't the faintest idea, I'm afraid, how old these 2 lions are. The male is old, anywhere between 5 and 7 years old, maybe. Unfortunately, there's no way of telling. Unless I see her yawning, maybe if I can see her nose a little bit closer, I don't really know. They're adults. I think all that needs to be said is that they are adults. And Susan also wants to know how many other lions do we see. Well, we see the Styx Pride. I don't even know how many are left in the Styx Pride now. We see the Gijima, the Machingalan males. It's a coalition of 4 males. We don't really see the Mapojos, another coalition that have headed. They seem to be spending more time south now. Since the Mapojos came into being here in this part of the world a couple of years ago, they had somehow decimated the lion population in this northern part of the Sabi Sand by killing a lot of lion, and that was all to gain territory and gain control. But those lions are losing steam, as it were. They're losing their edge as they get older. And the new group that came in, the Machingalans, well, there were 5 of them and 6 of the Mapojos. The Machingalans lost one of theirs to the Mapojos, then the Mapojos lost one of theirs to the Machingalans. And then I do get updates from Pam Lewis, getting information from other lodges here in the Sabi Sand about the lion in other parts of the reserve. But a lot of that information, I'll read it, of course, and Janet, sorry, I forgot Janet as well. Didn't mean to forget you, Janet. But I take note of that information. I do read that information. I love having that information. But a lot of it doesn't stay in my head because there's so much else going on in my head at the moment. So what I read yesterday, I won't even remember today about where the sticks were or where other lions are. Let's put it that way. And it's only by watching them on a regular basis that you can really get engrossed in their family lives and the lives of the lion in the area. And apart from that, we have more of an affinity with the leopards here because we see leopard more often, and we keep track of the leopards a lot closer than we do with the lion. And probably, if I had to add up all the times that I've seen the kahunas, it doesn't really add up to that many times. As far as these Gijimas are concerned, I think probably only the fourth or maybe fifth time in 2 years that I'm seeing them. So it is hard to keep track of things when one doesn't see them very often. Dynamics can and will change, and I'm hoping that this year is going to be a year that they're going to be spending more time down here. They did in the past. There's no reason why they shouldn't. We have the prey species. We have enough prey species around for them, especially since they like buffalo. Pinky. Pinky wants to know what's the gestation period for lion. It's about 3.5 months. And very similar to the leopard, around 100 days or so. Susan wants to know if they have more than 4 cubs, would another female accept their cubs and suckle them? It is possible, Susan. One of the reasons why it's possible is because quite often lionesses will come into estrus, conceive relatively close to each other, so that at a time when they're all having cubs, they're all lactating, and they're one of the few animals that will engage in what we call allosuckling, allowing another one's cubs to suckle. It's part of the strength of the bond within the pride and the strength of the bonds between the females. Hello, Carl. Skinny. Well, not really. Yeah, when you compare lion out in the wild like this to lion in a zoo, you've got to remember that these lions have to retain quite a sleek figure because they've got to hunt. and rounder and big-bellied. These lion just finished a buffalo yesterday. It wasn't a very small buffalo, it was a young yearling. And a lot of that meat by now, coming on to 24 hours later, a lot of that meat has been digested, and I have no doubt that they'd probably go for another buffalo if one came along. She's looking quite round actually, she's looking very healthy. He's a little bit thin in the hips maybe, but not unusually so.